That's 3 Mrs. Carroll. And the extension was Cindy.
I just didn't have the opportunity to read his proposal.
Very well. Now, would you like to have
Yes.
some discussion, please, on,
Sure.
so the idea is, though, that anything that's discussed tonight, we would have to have that voted on next month anyhow, correct? June 6th meeting?
We can vote on it now. We don't have to, because if you don't vote on who's on the committee now, he can't move forward with meetings.
Okay.
So I'd like to make a motion that with the exception of zoning hearing board members, which he specifically said cannot be on that planning, the members who signed up at the 15 or whatever it was members, or people who attended that meeting and expressed interest be appointed to the steering committee for the plan.
You should have the names of.
Yeah, I don't have it handy, I wasn't, I mean, I.
You have the list on.
Please, David.
Well, there's no zoning and no planning commission members going to be on the board, they say.
Right,
No, there's no zoning that will be
No
on.
planning either.
no planning, so, yeah, no zoning, no planning.
No, he said okay to planning.
No,
He
no,
said-
he said they could be an advisor, but they wouldn't be a voting member.
On that because they review it before it comes to us, so they get that say anyway.
Okay. Should we allow 2 for the 3, 4, 5 industries that we're waiting to trickle in and maybe
Oh, yeah.
represent that?
Yeah,
We get that in positively? Okay.
I would say we move forward with what we have right now.
What's that? All right. Well, let's wait for Dawn to get back and we can read off the list when it comes back. Next item on the agenda, Board of Supervisors discussion old business, HMT and Associates to discuss alternative locations to the sewer line through township property.
My name is Kevin Chappel of HMT Associates. As he hands that out, I'm going to fill in the background. We're trying to push things along here. At the previous Board of Supervisors meeting 2 months ago, contingent approval was given for an easement for a sanitary sewer line across township property. The property is located on Route 50, across from the school.
Actually, it wasn't contingent approval, it was approved.
Well, we didn't have that particular route planned out, and it was approved to go around the building. I'm going to pop this up here so I can see it. So approval was given if we routed the sanitary sewer around the one maintenance building. And after looking at that route with the developer as well as a couple of contractors, if you look on the plan there, it's the route that goes down around to the south edge of the building and then across the other maintenance building. There were a few challenges there. We had to move the existing manhole up top in order to get around the back side of the building and maintain at least a 90-degree angle. And we're getting very close to Miller's Run in the back, and we think excavation in that back corner can be very challenging without breaching, the embankment on Miller's Run there. We understand that the township is trying to maintain the biggest buildable area possible on that lot. We're just asking for consideration for the alternative route that we're showing going across the front of the building and then at an angle. The one that Dan has up on the screen right now, and we're as close as we can get to the existing maintenance building there and still maintaining the proper easement for the sanitary sewer. We know we have proven for the previous route. This route, we think it's a much easier construction route, and we don't think it takes up too much of the future building area. We're just asking for the township to consider this alternative route.
My main question I wanted to ask, The drawing that I got was the 50 scale, I guess, right?
That's correct.
All right, that distance from the line that we approved behind the building to that furthest point to the west where that manhole is, that's actually a distance of 83 feet that would be coming from the original line. That's exactly where if we would ever build a building, that's where it would sit. And we only have about 300 and some feet across on a site. It's a limited site. It's trapped between Glass Hill and the stream curving around. So we roughly have 300 feet of usable ground there for a building, and you're estimating 83 feet of it. It's almost a third of that property, and it's just, it's for you said excavation that could be a little bit challenging back there. We just can't give up that kind of property. I mean, God's not making any more over there. The stream's actually always eating our way. And like I said, that distance right there is 83 feet from where we actually approved it.
Understood.
Who's talked anything about building on this?
Pardon me?
Who has said anything about building on this property?
The prior boards have talked about if this building get torn down, we're gonna have a vacant piece of property for parking for the park and a future building.
And we may do something.
We might, but why would we hold them up and opening up sanitary sewer to other customers? Because we might in the future think about building something because prior boards told us to do it.
Something we might do, it's a piece of property you own, someday there's gonna be something on it. The township's gonna continue to grow long after we're all
But
gone.
this to
But
me,
you're also, your storm sewer works
Well,
going through
another thing too, to me, don't you have a conflict of interest? I think
No,
you
I
should-
do not.
You should not be.
there. I do not.
Well,
I do work for Dawn Fuchs. My company as a sub. I do not work for Dawn Fuchs. I knew this was coming.
it's not a criticism, I'm just saying you have to be careful that you.
Well, I've talked to a lot of attorneys, and they said it would not be a conflict of interest. You got guys gonna spend $500,000, extend the sewer line up, open it up to Cecil a lot more, and you're trying to make them do something ridiculous. You can't even get a machine behind that building, and you wanna go 15 foot deep, risk the creek breaching and dumping into the whole sewer line. You're never gonna build in that area where that sewer line's gonna be.
The ridiculous part is giving up a third of your property. You
How
will
is
never get it
how
back
is this
again.
a third of your property?
Because it's only roughly 300 feet across and.
50 feet of it you can't do nothing with.
One at a
Yeah,
time.
we-
One at
It's
a
an
time.
additional 83 feet on top of where.
Where? How was it an additional?
Just look at the drawing.
I am.
From this point where we approved it to this point, it's 83 feet. They're moving
Yeah, but
into
you
the
can't-
property.
What are you gonna put in the
And it's gonna be torn down.
They're illegal.
You said that if we were gonna build something, we would move it towards the back of that property, correct?
Sure.
So why do we care about 83 feet at the front right corner?
That's not the front, that's the back of the
Or
property.
the back right corner, like we would put it over here, correct?
That's the only usable part of that property for a building.
Why?
It's because it's the widest part, it's 300 feet. As you go further to the 50, it starts pinching down. You can see that we have to stay 50 foot. This is the 50-foot buffer for the stream. That starts pinching in up here.
Buildings come in all shapes and sizes, we can make it fit in there. You're not gonna tell me that we, with the size of this municipal building, that we would need a piece of property that would be this big, and that would make that much difference.
That usable area is barely a third of an acre. How can you even propose giving up a third of the property that the township owns? For free right away.
1 acre.
There is a route. They can go around
Because it
it.
opens up sanitary sewers to other places within the
But they
township.
can go around it. It's
No,
just,
they
it
can't,
won't
Sir,
be.
did you, one at a time talking, did you state though that it would be easier to do the construction with this route, or
Yes.
you can get larger equipment in?
Yes.
But the approved plan minimizes, you gotta use smaller equipment to get through behind that building.
Yes, and we're very concerned being so close to Miller's Run, and the depth, the depth of that sanitary sewer is gonna be about 15 feet there. And when you dig 15 feet, of course, your trench width is gonna get a little wider. And our largest concern is really breaching Miller's Run during construction and the problems that that.
Last month, you said you could do it, right? You could do it.
No, we never said it.
When we approved it,
When you approved it, I said we would look at the route, and you approved it contingent upon us reviewing that route. Well, I would not be here today if we didn't have concerns and ask for consideration of this route.
was it ever looked at and discussed going along Route 50? Right down in the front yard, because that's something that I don't, we have the setbacks we'd have to honor for any future building or whatever we do. But just to continue along Route 50,
It was looked at, and
what was the challenges? Was the utilities?
Wetlands.
Up in front?
Well, on this property, it was the utilities and it was the nearness to the existing building. And we were trying to avoid getting into the PennDOT right of way, because then it opens up getting a highway occupancy permit from PennDOT, which is quite challenging for, a sewer line of this size getting into the PennDOT right of way. And there are existing utilities, there's a gas line, a few other utilities along that route that we were trying to avoid.
Okay. I don't mind, I know the utilities are moved oftentimes, but I'd almost lean that way versus coming more into the property. And I hear Tom saying 83 feet into the property.
He's saying that it would be almost impossible to go across the front of the property because of the size of the sewer line. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Speak up.
He's saying that it would be almost impossible to go that way because you'd have to get a highway occupancy permit and the size of the sanitary sewer wouldn't qualify.
I heard him.
So we're setting him up for failure.
No, we don't know that. I don't know how much you looked into it, or is it ever possible, or where's your
We looked
wetlands come
into
from?
it. You also have to cross the road, Glass Hill Road, which is all wetlands.
Do you have a drawing that shows the utilities that are concerned in the front of the building?
Not with this, not right here, because,
Could you show us those, actually where the utilities are? The existing?
But it just makes more sense. I'm sorry to answer the question. Can you show him that? At some point?
we can get that information.
Why is it?
Just to clarify the other challenge, I know it's not on the township property, but on the other side of the road, the area north of Miller's Run, is all wetland, and of course, it's our convenience, not yours, but we're trying to avoid running through that wetland area on the other
It's
side.
north of Miller's Run. Miller's Run
Right on
is
the
east
other
to
side
west.
of Glass Hill Road.
On the
No,
other
that's
side.
not north of Miller's Run.
Where the red barn is, a red storage facility? Correct. That's it?
That's south of Miller's Run.
He needs
I mean,
glass.
the upper left corner of this plan here